Floridians know the cost of hurricane destruction. Last season, we got lucky. But luck doesn't protect your home. Fortunately, Storm Smart has dependable custom hurricane protection products. Hurricane screens, accordion shutters, aluminum roll-down shutters, flood mitigation systems. Because protected beats lucky every time. Be safe, be smart, be Storm Smart.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by Storm Smart. Protect every opening of your home.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Dennis Phillips Live. Tonight, we are talking a little bit about weather, and we are talking a ton about Tampa Bay Lightning hockey.
Right.
We got Dave Randorf here, play-by-play announcer for the majority of the games, all the games that you see on the spot.
Yes.
Which right now, if you're watching on the spot, thank you very much. But yeah, matter of fact, I mean, let's just jump right on into it.
Let's do it.
So the broadcast on the spot, the first round is set.
Yes. We know who we're going to face. We just don't know where the playoff series is going to begin. It is going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning facing the Montreal Canadiens for the fifth time in the franchise history for Tampa Bay. It's a great matchup. Two very exciting teams and tons of history in Montreal. Great atmosphere always in Tampa Bay, and there'll be great atmosphere in Montreal. The home ice advantage for that series is going to be decided perhaps tonight. Montreal's playing right now, as we speak, in Philadelphia.
Losing 1-0.
They're losing 1-0. Excellent sports update there. Who said you were just a weather guy?
Oh, I know sports.
I know you do. So if Montreal loses tonight, Lightning will get home ice advantage, and the series will begin here at Benchmark International Arena, which I'm pretty sure it's going to start Sunday. It cannot start Saturday. They've got a previous booking there for a big concert. So I am looking at probably a Sunday start for that first round series against Montreal if they have home ice. If not, it's quite likely we would start Saturday at Montreal.
And you said that the Bolts do on the tiebreaker. So
yes,
if with the Canadiens. So if the Canadiens lose to the Flyers, again, down 1-0 to the end of the first period, doesn't matter what happens tomorrow, the Bolts will lock in home ice.
Exactly. And so that'll play into a little bit. John Cooper talked about this a little bit today at practice as well. He said, you know, he'll make decisions based on what happens tonight on who's going to play for the Lightning tomorrow night. Will he rest Vasi? Will he rest a whole bunch of guys and give him a break and not risk any further injury? But he also says that, listen, it's not so much about the standings. They're fine with whatever happens. They'd love to have home ice, but what they really want is the team to be as healthy and as ready as they can be for game one, be it Saturday or Sunday. So we'll see. There's a couple milestones still to be reached. I know that Darren Radish has been out of the lineup the last couple of games. He would love to extend his career high season. Nikita Kucherov still chasing a scoring title, albeit it's a bit of a stretch right now. And Andrei Vasilevsky would love to get to 40 wins. He's sitting on 39. 40 wins for a goalie is a remarkable number. It's kind of like 50 goals for a player. So, and he's done it once before, and he'd love to get there again.
And we were talking, well, first of all, there's a big pep rally that's coming up on Friday.
Friday?
And it is located at Sparkman Wharf.
Yep.
And
Greg Wolf is going to be the host. Greg Wolf's very familiar to people, fans who go to the games and see the Lightning live at Benchmark International Arena. Greg Wolf's going to host the thing. There's going to be alumni appearances. There's going to be fan interactions, music, prizes, all kinds of hockey talk and energy, getting everybody ready for the first round. It's a great time of year, and this is going to kick it all off. Friday night, 6 till 8 at Sparkman Wharf.
And you know what else I was noticing? In the past, I was talking to some folks about this. In the past, a lot of the watch parties were at Sparkman Wharf. But I'm hearing this year, some of the watch parties may actually go in some other spaces as well around the Bay Area to kind of open it up a little bit.
I don't have all the details on that, but what I would just suggest you do, just go to TampaBayLightning.com and keep refreshing, and they will definitely start pumping out all the details about what they plan to do for the playoffs. Because last year, I think they had one at Clearwater Beach, and they had a lot of cool, Tampa locations to get out there and watch the game and watch our show and cheer the Lightning on.
So we were
by the way, can I do a little plug?
Yeah.
So these games are going to be on national TV as well, but they're going to be on the spot as well. Your home team broadcast, that's myself, Brian, Gabby Shirley, our great production crew. We're doing your home team coverage right here as we've done all season long right here on the spot. So don't forget us. The other channels, you got to bounce around and find out where it is. All you got to do is just lock it into the spot, and you're good.
Am I correct that the spot will carry the first round?
Yes.
And not a Game 7. If it goes Game 7,
no,
I believe
that's not necessarily true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. I haven't been bumped in my time here, 5 years. We haven't been bumped by a national network
That's what I wondered,
for
if the national
exclusive.
broadcast.
Now it depends on what day it lands on and that kind of thing. But cross our fingers that that would flat out suck, Dennis, to not be able to do a Game 7.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lie. But we'll wait and see what happens. But bottom line is, count on us being there for the entirety. And maybe the Lightning won't let it get to 7. So there's that.
Which would be a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And also the fact that ABC, which obviously we're an ABC affiliate, has the finals this year.
Yes, that's true. So we are done doing the games after the first round. And then it's ABC and ESPN and TNT, our colleagues at those 3 networks.
And let's hope that they're playing well into June, because if it goes that far, it goes that far. I told you the story way back when in 2004 when the Bolts won the Cup, and we were broadcasting into June, and it was 100 degrees outside. It was just unbelievable heat. And it was just one of the greatest experiences, and it was a Game 7, as we talked about. Yeah,
that's right, against the Calgary Flames. And you told me the story about your son coming to the game with you and all that kind of stuff. So people have great memories, and this is the time of year when those memories are created. And you don't forget big wins, big goals, big victories, big series wins. It's what you wait all season long for. We've got the greatest fans in the NHL. That building, I go to all of them folks, as you know, and I would put our atmosphere and our fan base and the energy they create on a nightly basis up against anybody in the league. And I'm talking about whether it's a Saturday night or whether it's a Tuesday night. It's still rocking in there. And this is why we wait. These are the games you wait for all season long. And it's here. And we've got a great first round matchup to get things going.
So if you're watching on the spot, we appreciate you as always. You can ask Dave a question on Facebook as well. So a lot of folks are watching on TV, but they have their phone handy. And by the way, just got an update from one of our viewers saying it is now 2-0 Flyers.
So you got sportscasters all over the place.
Those folks at home are great. Let me tell you, when I know that when they're telling me it's time for me to take a break, because I forget the times and I don't have a producer.
Yeah, when are you going to take a break?
Yeah, so it's about time for a break. I will mention one other thing. We were talking, and someone just mentioned Go Florida Panthers. We were talking about that. The Panthers did not make the playoffs this year.
So they went to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, just like the Lightning did prior to their run in South Florida. So that's very taxing. They lost their captain, Barkov, right out of the gate at training camp. So he's been gone all season long. They were without Matthew Tkachuk for the majority of this season. They've had a lot of injuries, a lot of miles on that team.
And we have no sympathy at all.
No. But listen, they won the last 2 cups.
Yeah.
And what you have to respect as a Lightning fan is they built themselves to beat the Lightning. They were tired of getting pushed around by the Lightning, so they went about trying to figure out, we'll worry about everybody else later. Right now, we want to beat the Lightning, and they did. So, but now they're not going to because they're done.
It is interesting, though, because at the beginning of the year, we were talking about how the Lightning looked as though they were trying to build a team that could beat the Panthers and become more physical.
You're exactly right.
In the year?
Yeah, you're exactly right. No, do I remember earlier in the year? It's been like that all year long.
Yeah.
They are the most penalized team. They have the most fights, and it's not even close in either department. And in fact, if you look back to the last meeting against the Montreal Canadiens, that one got a little sideways, a little rough and emotional. And that's why I think it's going to carry over into this first-round matchup as well. The Lightning definitely felt they got pushed around in the playoffs the last couple of years, especially the last year. And they wanted to change the mindset and the approach, and they have.
Yeah. All right, we're back in 90 seconds, continuing with Dave Randorf, play-by-play announcer on the spot of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Bring your questions. Again, log in Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. We're on all the streaming platforms. We'll be back in 90 seconds. And we are in commercial.
We're still on Facebook.
Yeah, we're still on Facebook.
Hello, everybody. Still on Facebook.
Yep. So, we've got folks from all over commenting.
You know, that's awesome because if people who watch the show, we've started this thing on Saturdays called Social Saturday, and we ask for people to take pictures of wherever you are watching. I don't know if you've seen this, Dennis. It's incredible. We've been getting pictures from all over Europe, from Australia, from Hong Kong, from all over the States and Canada, with people wearing their Lightning jersey with their kids, their dog, their wife, or whatever. It's awesome. And so it doesn't surprise me that a whole bunch of people are checking this content out tonight.
Well, and I also teased the fact that you were going to be on, so I figured we would have some solid
Canadians, maybe,
well.
yes.
Yeah, it's possibly.
And people from Safety Harbor, I hope too. Yes.
Oh, last time you were here, you had to get out to go get pizza. Was that the first time that you had ever had? Was it Nona's? No, you've had.
First time, Dennis. I've lived there for 5 years.
Okay.
I discovered that early on. Nona's. Shout out to Nona's and my buddy Connor Mackin, who runs the bar.
All right. So when we come back, we're going to talk about these things that I'll just read them the plaza parties, because I'm not really sure what they are, but we're going to talk about it. And we're back in 13 seconds. And then there's a sweepstakes going on, which we're going to talk about this, where you can win 2 tickets to every home game in the Stanley Cup playoffs with the Lightning if you win it. All right, we are back in 3, 2. Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live, here with Dave Randorf from the Bolts, play-by-play guy. And we were just talking about how fast this season seems to have gone. I mean, it just seems like yesterday we were kind of introducing the season, and now we're getting into it. And I do want to mention something here for the folks who are watching on TV. So there's some really cool things that are coming up in the playoffs, and one of which we talked to Dave about the pep rally, which is on Friday.
Friday, 6 to 8 at Sparkman Wharf.
Well, these are called plaza parties, and what they are is $5 to reserve your spot, and you experience Tampa Bay Lightning playoff hockey on Thunder Alley for every home game. So it sounds like it's going to take Thunder Alley and maybe bring it up a notch.
It's like a hockey drive-in theater without the cars.
Oh, nice.
You know, it's like everybody's out there in the plaza. Everybody's been there, and you bring your lawn chair, and it's awesome scene. We show it quite often when we're on the air. We go take a look outside, and it's packed. And they've got our show out there on the big screen on the wall of the parking lot there, and the sound cranked and music in between the breaks. It's a great way to go check out the game with all your favorite buddies.
And it looks like the way to get more information on this, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the next thing as well, TampaBayLightning.com/2026 playoffs. I think that's what it is. I should put my glasses on.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Both of us need our glasses.
So that's one thing, and here's something that is really cool. So check this out. We're going to just go right to this. This is an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to every Lightning home game through the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. So it would not include tomorrow's game, obviously. It's just the playoff games. Secondary prizes include autographed pucks, autographed sticks, and secondary prizes are awarded in each round as well. So you can either scan the QR code right there on your screen, you scan the QR code, or you can also go on to TampaBayLightning.com/2026 playoffs and enter to win. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it's free to enter or not. I'm not sure. But if you scan on this, you'll find out.
I bet you it is.
But man, how
That's
awesome
a pretty
is
cool.
that?
That's a pretty awesome prize. Yes.
I mean, I remember over the years when I've had a chance to go to some of the games. I mean, you had to beg, borrow, or steal to try to get tickets because they sell out in the regular season anyway.
I get handed the note every night near the midway part of the third period. I believe we're up to close to 460 consecutive sellouts at the Benchmark International Arena. So that's awesome. And as I just said earlier in the show, it's the atmosphere in there is unmatched around the league on a nightly basis.
And season ticket holders do get an advantage to get access to those playoff tickets.
Yeah,
so
probably.
I mean, yeah, they do. So I mean but there will still be tickets available, but I'm not, and honestly, I'm not sure if have the single games gone on sale yet.
Yes, I believe they have.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they have.
For the first
I checked with my boss before he came in here, and that was one thing I failed to confirm, but I'm pretty sure they are. Just get on the TampaBayLightning.com, and it's all there for you.
So what are the things that you are going to be looking for as someone who knows this team when they start in round one? I mean, is there a certain kind of a feel, or is there a certain kind of a matchup or whatever that you're going to be looking for that you feel as though is an important matchup for the round one against the Canadians, and we'll worry about the others if they get that far?
The Stanley Cup playoffs bring an energy and a shot of adrenaline to everybody involved, whether you're watching the game at home, whether you're calling the game, or whether you're in the game and on that bench. And that's what I want to see from the Lightning, because you just said the season has gone fast. Perhaps it has, but it's a long season. And don't forget, there was an Olympic break in there for a lot of these players as well, and the head coach. And then the hoopla around the Stadium Series game, which was a roaring success, but it was still just a lot going on this season. And I think fatigue, both a little physical and mental fatigue, has taken over the last 3 weeks. They've still mixed in a bunch of wins, but they haven't been as razor sharp as they certainly were before the Olympic break.
Coop even said that.
Yeah, and it's true.
It.
And that's Coop being honest. Now, you still have all the pieces that you need. And they're resting guys right now. They're resting Brandon Hagel. They're resting Darren Radish. Sadly, we are going to enter these Stanley Cup playoffs without the captain, Victor Hedman, who is on a personal leave. We don't know anything else, nor should we. It's his business, and we certainly just hope that Victor and his family are doing okay. He's an amazing guy, a first-class person, and a Hall of Fame player. So you're missing that big piece as well. But I'm hoping that adrenaline kicks in, and it just kind of pulls the form back together and the structure back together. We know this team can score. They've got to play a little better, a little faster inside their own blue line and get the puck out of there quicker. When they were on top of their game, when they had a magnificent run right after Christmas, right into the All-Star break, it was one pass, two passes, and they were out of their zone, Dennis. They spent no time in their zone, barely ever. And then when they needed a save, they got one from Vasi. I'd like to see them get back to that, and they're going to need it in the playoffs.
Is it something that you think some teams, the truly special teams, can just flip a switch?
It depends on your experience level. So the Montreal Canadiens don't have a ton of experience. There's a couple of guys there that played in that final against the Lightning in 2021. But that was kind of a surprise run for the Montreal Canadiens. They're a team that's kind of going like this. The Lightning are already here. They've got, you start with Corey Perry. He's got the fourth most playoff games in NHL history. There's only 3 guys ever that have played more games in the playoffs than him. They've got plenty of experience. Ryan McDonough, he's missed the playoffs once in his career. And that's not a coincidence. You know, that just tells you, you talk about players who know what time it is. There's plenty of them on the Lightning. And do I think they can kick back into gear? Yes, I do.
Let's hope so. So we got another break coming up. Update, end of the first period. Flyers are up 2-0 over the Canadians after one. Daniel, thank you for the update. He actually said he's watching the game and been giving us updates as he goes.
All right, thanks, Daniel.
So we'll be back in 90 seconds. We're going to talk more about the playoffs and maybe some of the teams that didn't make it. And, you know, I've mentioned in the past, I grew up a Caps fan, and this could very well possibly be the last game that Alex Ovechkin plays in the NHL. There's been rumblings he may retire in the summer. We'll talk about that and any of your questions coming up as DPL continues. Yeah, there's been, I've read a good bit about it on a lot of the blogs.
About
Ovi, yeah. And, you know, did you see, so when they played Pittsburgh a couple of games ago, A lot of the players came out to try to congratulate him,
especially that team, including Crosby,
because
that was the big
rivalry.
That was the big rivalry, which turned into a kind of a respect fest between the two of them, because they are two iconic figures of this generation. The two biggest stars of this current generation are Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin. And you're right, he kind of waved him off. He said, no, let's not do this right now.
Because there was a chance they could have actually played them if they had they didn't make the playoffs, but that's what the word was.
That's true. No, it's very true.
They could have played Pittsburgh if they had snuck in at the very end.
They would have maybe beat out Philly, but Philly locked it up. So I don't know what to think there. You can say it for your show, but listen, he's 40 years old, and he's got the all-time goals record. He's already increased that and set a number that nobody's going to touch for decades.
He's got nothing else to prove.
Yeah, and he's not going to get to 1,000 goals. So you know, if you objectively look at Alex Ovechkin live when he's out there, he doesn't move around much, and he's it's a harsh word to say, a detriment to his team, but it's a young man's game. Yeah, and you got to be able to get up and down the ice.
We're back in 7, and keep your questions coming. And 3, 2. Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live, here with Lightning play-by-play guy, Dave Randorf. Dave, we were just talking in the break, and by the way, again, if you're watching on TV, love it, the spot. It's been so rewarding, and we were talking about this earlier, and I think it's okay to say this. First of all, Scripps Sports, who broadcast these games, just picked up another piece of the pie, picked up the rights to the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, there's a big shift going on in the NHL in terms of how the games are broadcast and where they are. And any Lightning fan out there knows that it's been difficult over the last few years because of cord cutting, because of different tiers of cable packages you needed to get the previous broadcaster. But now that's all behind us now. The ratings have been fantastic this season, right here on the spot. And with Scripps Sports, and people are watching it in big numbers, and we certainly are glad to report that. And you know, the Lightning are a good team, an exciting team, an entertaining team to watch. So it should be big numbers. And
you also mentioned that the app has done really well too. We were talking about that because when the season started, people weren't sure where they could watch these games. There were a lot of question marks, and you know, some people can't get the spot. Some people can't get the signal because, for whatever reason, whether it's not on cable, whether they don't have cable. And the Lightning stepped up and made the app available and made it at a very reasonable price. Yeah, and
I've talked to a lot of fans through the course of the season. You just download the Lightning app on your phone, and you paid a fee that was, I think, less than $65 for the whole season. And there's lots of other content on that app as well. And you can watch replays of the game, too. There's I don't know how many games it stores, but you can go back and watch 3 or 4 games, too. And it works. There's no technical glitches. It's a well-performing app. And those sales apparently have exceeded the Lightning's wildest expectations. So bottom line is, Bolts Nation is alive and well in this area and all over the place, which is great to see. And again, when the team is won as much as they have and has made the Stanley Cup playoffs 9 consecutive years, tied for the longest run in the NHL right now, it's warranted. It's a good team.
Question from one of the viewers. Outside of the Lightning series, what do you think would be the most interesting series to watch?
Not all of them are set yet, but I've got to admit, right now I think Buffalo-Boston is lined up there to meet. I don't think that's in stone yet because there's still some results that have to come in the next couple of nights. That's got a real old school feel to it. Going back.
Philly and Pittsburgh a possibility?
Philly, well, I was going to go there next. Yes, no, that is locked in.
Oh, it is?
Philly and Pittsburgh. So that's the Battle of Pennsylvania. There's a lot of history there. That goes way back there. And you got Crosby for a last hurrah and Malkin for a last hurrah as well. So there's some good ones. Out in the West, Dallas, Minnesota. You know, those are 2 teams, both of which could win the Stanley Cup, and one of them is going to be gone after the first round. So there's going to be some. The first round is a slingshot. It's a roller coaster, and it's the express lane into the playoffs because there's so much chaos. There's upsets. There's wild results. Because once you get past, sometimes the hardest round to win is the first round. Just getting past that, you know, the number 8 seed is trying to knock off the number 1 seed, or the lower team versus the higher team. Or just a good matchup like Tampa Bay and Montreal. Once you get past that, you kind of get your game in order and you move forward from there, and everything gets settled in. But the first round, there's really nothing like it in my mind in sports.
Well, remember when the Bolts got blindsided by Columbus You know, I mean, that was just.
Oh, Lightning fans hate hearing about that.
Right?
But I maintain the lessons learned there in that sweep at the hands of a lower seed after 62 wins by the Lightning, and they were just toying with the rest of the league, and then they go and get swept by John Tortorella and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The lessons learned there and the fact they didn't clean house after it led to the back-to-back Stanley Cups. No question in my mind.
And now Torts is the coach of the
Vegas.
Golden Knights. So
Yes.
how about that?
He's back.
Yeah.
They fired the other guy with about 6 games to go, and then on Long Island, they fired their coach, Patrick Waugh, with 4 games to go.
Yep. And then Torts stepped right in, and last I saw, they'd gone 4-0 under him. I don't know what's happened since then.
Yeah.
But that was the first 4 games.
It often happens, a new coach bump. So, you know, you don't count out Vegas either. You know, there's a lot of good teams in the West as well. It's going to be fun to watch. But mark my words, I say this objectively. Yes, I'm wearing this hoodie. Yes, I work for the team. Yes, I love to see the Lightning win. But I can objectively tell you that when the Lightning are on, they're as good a team in the NHL as there is in the East and or West. When you start with Vasi on out, Kucherov, Hagel, and everybody else, it's been a very good team all season. And if they can pull it back together, they're as good as anybody.
Got to hit our last break. Back in 90 seconds with our last segment of Dennis Phillips Live. And that segment will be about a minute.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, am I talking too long?
No, this is great.
All
I mean,
right,
I have not had to talk about weather at all.
How are we doing? Any updates from Daniel there?
It was 2-0 what he said at the end of the period. They said, "I go by Ben. By the way, you do a great job at announcing our games. Do you think we will get on better? Do you think we will get on a better roll with Hagel back for the playoffs?"
Okay.
So we'll touch on that one when we come back. In fact, you know what? Here's what I can do. Let's see if I can figure this out. Put that I can actually have that comment and have it come up on the screen.
Look at you.
There. Okay, create. Use that. Layer 3. And get rid of it. And then there it is. And then.
And I'll keep it tight
up.
for you.
Oh, okay, we're good. I'll show me that. And then take it. There.
Okay.
I love this. All right, so we're going to do that when we come back.
All right. Thanks for having me, Dennis.
Oh, this is awesome. I'm so glad you could make it. It just, you know, you have such insight that nobody else gets.
I'm a 3-timer. Is this like SNL where I get a robe on 5th time?
It's true. yeah. No one else has even been close. And this relationship has been pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Right, this
great.
is good. So
Well,
we're
we
gonna
both
start
like
with
crooked
this.
thumb too. So
Yes.
when we see eye to eye.
All right, we are back in 13. All right, I'm going to cut this one out and then delete shot. Yep, and then go back. All right, perfect. In 3, 2. Welcome back. Our last segment of Dennis Phillips Live. As you see here, we have a question. We have lots and lots of questions. I just selected this one, popped it up, and you know, and the question was: so with Hagel back for the playoffs, do you think that's something that will allow the team to get more
Kickstart
of a roll?
everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
He's only been gone for, I think, 6 of the last 7 games. Undoubtedly, this guy is the heartbeat of the team right now. He is the Energizer Bunny. He is the guy that really brings that shot of, he changes the momentum by himself. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a heart and soul, blood and guts type player who could also score 36 goals. He's had 90 points last year. He's got 36 goals, a career high this year. He came back for 1 game in this stretch, Dennis, in Boston, and scored a crucial game-tying goal in the 3rd period of a 4th game of a 4-game road trip, dug down deep and got the boys right back into it, and they won that game in Boston. Undoubtedly, I would be shocked if he's not in the game for Game 1. You'd have to hide his skates.
So,
and thanks, Ben, for the nice comment. I appreciate that.
So many comments. I would list them all, but we don't have time. We were just talking about this. The show flies by when we just start talking about it. We love having you.
My 3rd time here.
It's like SNL, like you said. I mean, it really is. It's a blast, and I want to thank all the viewers on the spot because we were talking about the ratings.
Yeah.
The ratings have been extraordinary, and you know, there's always when you're on a news station. You know, sometimes people, you wonder if they will find you, and they have found you.
They have, and I say the same thing on behalf of our whole crew and the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're thrilled that you found us, and you're enjoying another great season, and let's keep it going into the 1st round and beyond.
So, lastly, with the Canadians on tap, they still have not given the dates of all the games. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, we'll probably start seeing the NHL probably start announcing those schedules for each of the series once they're set. And it's still 2-0 Philly?
Yep, still 2-0 as they
So
start the 2nd period. And again, as we mentioned,
Friday night, This Friday night, 6 to 8, join Greg Wolf and a cast of thousands to get everybody going at Sparkman Wharf for the Bolts playoff pep rally. Prizes, alumni appearances. He's going to do a live block party podcast there. It's going to be a lot of fun, so get down there.
And there will also be plaza parties throughout the playoffs as well in Thunder Alley. $5 to reserve your spot. And again, you can check it out by going to tampabaylightning.com/2026 playoffs. So again, thank you, Dave, so much. I appreciate you coming by here. I'm sure you're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, this is for players, coaches, fans, and broadcasters. This is the best time of year.
Have a great night, guys. See you soon. And we're out. Oh, they tied out and we made it.
Landed that thing.
So,
thanks, buddy.
That was awesome.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Always a pleasure. Yeah, no problem.
Because I only made it to one game. I made it.
Well, as long as you're watching at home, that's okay.
I'm always watching. Well, we're watching right here.
I get it.
Typically, when DPL's on.
You work nights. I get it.
Yeah.
I used to work nights all the time, too.
I went on
local sports
last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago when they played the Bruins. And got the win.
Yeah.
You know, and it started off a little sluggish.
Yeah, That's what I was talking about, a little fatigue.
Yeah, and then turned it on in the third period and got the W. But no, there's, in my opinion, and I'm a big baseball guy, I always have been. I still think there's nothing on earth like a Stanley. I would argue Stanley Cup overtime hockey is the most exciting of any sport, of any event, anywhere.
I've called overtime in Game 7 twice in my career. Twice? Maybe 3 times? Twice for sure. One was at Madison Square Garden. And I got no rooting interest in the two teams that were playing that night, the Capitals and the Rangers. But still, it went to double overtime. And still, you're just on edge just because you're the voice of this stress box that everybody is feeling. And you're right. It can end like that.
Or it can go 2 or 3 periods.
And that's what I hate, because that's no good for anybody, because then maybe fatigue decides a play. But that's the way it goes. They abandon, obviously, the 3-on-3 format and go back to the traditional 5-on-5. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Well, guys, quickly, I do want to, since we've not done any weather at all, I'm going to give you a 7-day. Yeah, that's right. You didn't do any weather.
I did no weather.
It's hot and it's not going to rain.
Back to you.
Good night.
And there it is. It's hot and it's not going to rain. You're exactly right. And maybe on Monday, a weak front comes in. Could see a few showers on Monday afternoon, but otherwise, it is going to be very hot, very dry, and the brush fire dangers, unfortunately, are going to continue. So, again, Dave, thank you so much for coming. Y'all, thank you very much. As always, we'll be back tomorrow night with our next edition of Dennis Phillips Live. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.